Hello, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I wanted to talk a little bit about your health and your fitness and what that all can entail. Um, my name is June Melia, and I have worked and been passionate about health and fitness for more than 25 years. And I've seen it all. I have seen it all in 25 years working and being involved in health and fitness. I've seen things come and go. I've seen things come around and around and, you know, things be really popular and then vanish for the next thing that becomes really popular. I've seen it. I've seen it all. And I just want to let you know that there is no finish line. There is no ending point with health and fitness. There's no finish line. There's no ending. If you want to take your health and fitness into your own hands and start doing something, right? Start maybe eating better, exercising regularly, all of that. There's no finish line. There's no end point where you just sort of let it go and stop taking care of yourself. There's no end. Something I used to say, or something I say to my clients regularly is, are you in maintenance? Are you in maintenance? Like, are we in maintenance? Which the joke kind of was, you really never are in maintenance. I mean, some people kind of are. Like, if you're like a real athlete, then sure, maybe there's like seasons of that come and go. But for most people, there's no maintenance. You are expected to exercise and, eat pretty healthfully and take care of yourself all the time. And as we change, as our lives change, as our responsibilities change, as our bodies change, as we get older, things evolve, right? I'm not doing the same workouts I did when I was 23. When I was 23, I was trying to run 50 miles a week. I was doing crazy amounts of volume. I was taking spin classes, hour-long spin classes. I was doing all sorts of kind of crazy, intensive workouts. I was getting in my strength. I mean, it was like it was my job, because it kind of was. And that was the point in my life where that's what I was really into, and really into. Like, I was living in California, traveling up and down the coast on the weekends, doing big races, 10Ks, half marathons, like whatever I wanted to do. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and drive wherever and do a big race. And that was like, I was just on fire and into it really hard. And things ebb and flow. Then you have kids and you're still exercising, but things change. You need to baby yourself through parts of life, and you need to really go hard. You just want to go hard sometimes in life. And that's just the cycle of life, is taking things from a seasonal standpoint and taking things from like a big picture standpoint, where like, where are you in life? And there's no perfect workout. That's another sort of side lesson is, I've seen so many workouts come through in 25 years, the different like fat burning workout, long, slow, steady cardio category, high intensity interval training category, Tabatas category, spin category, endurance racing, like the Ragnar races, all of those exercises, all of beach body. I mean, muscle confusion, all of this has come and gone, and all of that is marketing. That's all just marketing. And it doesn't always have your health in perspective, because it's basically just trying to get you amped up for a result. I mean, The Biggest Loser. I mean, that whole phase of The Biggest Loser. I remember when I would work with clients while The Biggest Loser was like, on weekly, I would do, and I never really I watched bits of it and I found it to be so horrifyingly cringeworthy and abusive that I really couldn't watch it, especially as someone who worked with people. I worked in a hospital helping people who were preparing for gastric bypass surgery. And so to see these people be like yelled at and abused was horrible. But I would be teaching a class and I would, demonstrate an exercise they were going to do. And they're like, oh, that was on The Biggest Loser. And then that made it like a valid exercise. So our workouts, our health goals, all of that, it morphs as we get older and it changes, and that's to be expected. And the thing is that even though that's the truth, you have to keep going. You have to keep working on your cardiovascular endurance. You need to keep working on your muscular strength, which is something I wish I had done when I was younger more. I was definitely more of like a cardio fanatic. I wish I had in my 20s and 30s really worked on muscle development, now that I'm approaching 50. And where was I going? And so that's just the way it is things ebb and flow, but there's never a stagnancy, and you're never done. You're never really in maintenance. You are attempting to build, and sometimes while building you're recovering, so there's that. But the expectation is that you're building yourself up so that you can enjoy that segment and the next segment of your life in a really great way. Now that I'm approaching 50, my whole method has changed. No way would I be running 50 miles a week. No way would I be doing that. I ran my last marathon maybe 3 years ago. I don't think I'm ever going to run another marathon again because I don't think it's worth it. And I think it puts a lot of pressure on our body, on our hormonal system, and our stress levels. And I don't think that that is worth it at all to me. I'd rather go for like a long endurance walk run, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, and that's it. I'll probably never do another marathon again or anything up to that category. As I approach 50, I'm definitely more thinking about my strength training and making sure that 3 to 4 days a week I'm getting at least 20 to 30 minutes of strength training in, because I know that my muscle mass is directly linked to my bone mass, and if I'm not careful, I can lose a lot of that. A lot of that. And I know that when I'm 80, 90 years old, I want to have good mobility and not be a blob in a chair. Like I've seen some of my older relatives, extended, thankfully, my parents took good care of themselves. But that makes me so sad to think about spending the last decade or two of your life just in a chair. It just limp in a chair. That's really sad. I hope that I'm traveling and I am doing, and so I know that in order for that to happen, I need to start the building blocks and maintain that and build it so that I get an amazing last couple decades of my life. I also know that now I'm focusing on just like balance and stability and core strength, making sure my back stays strong, my shoulders stay strong, my knees stay strong, my hips stay strong, so that I am, again, mobile. It's all about mobility and independence. Make sure I can squat well, make sure I'm loading weight on my shoulders to help with my bone density, and all of that is really important. And I'm really less worried about like calorie burning. I'm more worried about, like I said, maintaining muscle, and I'm really, keeping an eye on my activity level. I used to be like, oh, I'll do an hour of cardio and then I don't have to really worry about how much activity I do during the day. Now it's, I get my cardio in, and on top of that, I want to make sure I hit my 10,000 steps a day at least, in order to make sure that I am physical. and physically able. So it's exercise and activity. It's not just exercise. So less calorie burning and less calorie burning and more like activity, you know, and all of that. And also more sleep, really good nutrition, and trying my best to keep my stress reduction pretty low. I also have a lot of cancer in my family. Both my parents have had cancer. My father passed away 10 years ago from cancer. I have cancer in my extended family. And so getting really good sleep, focusing on nutrition is definitely in the mix. So there is no finish line with fitness. You're never done. And you hear this really with people who lose a lot of weight too, that they lose, 50 pounds of weight and then they get there and they're like, okay. And the reality is it's really tough to maintain that also. So you need to have a plan for maintenance. You need to keep it interesting, keep it dynamic, keep it realistic. And so that you are then, maintaining a really healthy life so we can all have a great golden years. I mean, it just really bums me out when I think of people who don't get to enjoy these final years of their lives. There's actually this YouTuber couple that I watch, and the husband just passed away. They travel, they sort of travel and they give really great advice on retirement, and he just turned 70 and he passed away. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so sad. His wife, they've been together for 50 years. The wife was devastated, and thank goodness they got to retire young, because 70 most people don't get to. And then he could have died at 70 working behind a desk, which is what happens with a lot of people. So at least he got some great trips in, and he got to travel and all of that. Anyways, that's besides the point. So that's just to sort of let you know that you got to keep going. You got to keep exercising. You've got to keep maintaining your strength and your health and your endurance so that you can enjoy life as much as possible. And that's it. That's all I have to say. So if you have any questions about this, or you're wondering about your own health and fitness, and maybe you need help in order to get yourself on the ball, I call it consistency coaching. I coach people from afar so that they can get up and get moving and get healthy. And I give a lot of accountability and a lot of encouragement, and I give great ideas of how you can manage to be healthier and improve your fitness in ways that maybe don't seem so overwhelming. And that's what I love to do for my clients. So if you're interested in that, I would love it if you would schedule a call with me. And the link is down below in the box. If you just need encouragement in general, you can subscribe to this channel, and I will keep posting videos with both these kinds of videos where I am just offering encouragement and all of that, and also specific things that you can do in order to get fit, get up, get fit, so that you can really enjoy that last third part of your life, which is supposed to be golden. So I encourage you to do that. If you just want to message me, you can also do that. That's totally fine. Leave a message down below and I will respond to that. And I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so I hope you have an amazing day, and I so appreciate that you stopped by to watch this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.